There we go. All right, that means we're real. We're live, we're on it. So let me share my screen here and we'll walk through this. All right. Okay, so Rotarians are always really kind of nice. And they, even when my slide showed isn't working, uh, they don't say anything. So, I'm just kind of clicking through it and I'm 12 slides into it and somebody goes, hey, the slides aren't advancing. So if they're not advancing, can somebody say hey, you know what, Benson? They're not advancing. All right, so here we go. So welcome to Rotary, and this is going to be mostly an overview about our district and Rotary International in general. So here we go. Okay, so about a decade ago, maybe a little longer, Rotary decided that they wanted to come up with a new vision statement that was going to really kind of encompass what they wanted to do in the world, what vision they had, and so they created this very simple vision statement, and basically it says, "Together we see a world where people unite." Okay, they take action to create lasting change across the globe in our communities and within ourselves. So some really key things here they highlight together. So Rotary is a together organization. People unite and then take action. Because I mean, you might have been in groups, like I've been in groups where I do a lot of talking, but not a lot of action. So you'll see that Rotary actually calls themselves people of action. And our job is not just to make change, but to make change that lasts across the world, and you'll see the world impact on that in our communities. So whichever community you live in, the impact on your community is great, and then primarily within ourselves. Because like for me, I've been in Rotary, like I say only 10 years because there's people on this call that have been in Rotary way longer than me. And I can tell you right now, I am not the same person that joined 10 years ago. And it's really because of my connection with Rotary's mission and Rotary's people. Okay, so what does Rotary do? Okay, so Rotary focuses on integrity, diversity, service, leadership, fellowship, and they believe in exemplifying and embracing diversity, equity, inclusion. Now, the some people don't use those words anymore, but Rotary, man, it's a core part of who they are and what they do. So, um, you know, when Rotary started out, it was more kind of a business networking, and we'll go through the kind of history of it. But now, what we found is that what the world really needs now is an inclusive group of people that want to work together, regardless of where you come from, what you look like, your sexual orientation, whatever. So Rotary is a very open, diverse, and inclusive group. All right. Okay, so this guy that has the arrow on him, Paul Harris. Okay, so he started Rotary in 1905, and basically when he started it, it was he wanted to do some networking, and he wanted to create an organization or start a group of people that had similar intentions, looked at the world kind of the same. And so Rotary actually got its name because these four guys who started out Rotary, led by Paul Harris there, they rotated the meeting from each one of their offices. So they started calling it Rotary because they rotated the meetings. I know, hard to believe, but yeah. And so a huge million people organization got its name. So Rotary is an international service organization. All right, and I'll go through some of the numbers with you guys here in the next slide to show how big it is. This is our international convention, and if you haven't been to one, it's a game changer. And once you go to one of those and you see, all those flags, see all those flags in the picture, you see all those flags marching out on the stage, then you're going, wow, this thing is way, way, way bigger. Actually, in Rotary, there are more countries involved in Rotary than in the United Nations. So that's how big Rotary is. So Rotary is basically three parts. There's the clubs, which is us, right? There's Rotary International, which is our basically our organizing organization, right? And then there's the Rotary Foundation, and the Rotary Foundation is kind of our financial mechanism for collecting and dispersing money all over the world for all kinds of Rotary projects. All right, so let me give you some Rotary numbers here. All right, so how big is Rotary? So Rotary is 44,000 clubs. There's actually about 1.4 million Rotarians. I gotta change that number. All right. Rotaract clubs, and Rotaract clubs are like young Rotarians, typically 18 to 34. We have 10,000 of those clubs. That's over 180,000 Rotaractors. And then Interact clubs, Interact is basically high school. They go from 12 to 18 years old. So if some of you guys are in high school, remember like Key clubs, they used to have Kiwanis had a similar kind of thing. But we have 500,000 of those folks all over the planet. We're divided into 530 districts, 535 districts, and 34 zones. And so, like I was saying, there's more countries in Rotary than in the United Nations, 220 countries. All right. And so this is just kind of a map of where Rotary clubs are all over the planet. And you can see that they're spread out like all over the place. They're even, they're in Russia, Asia, Africa, South America, all over the place. And one of the cool things about going to the international convention is you get to meet people from all over the world. Okay, so here's our Rotary International leadership, right? So the current president of Rotary International is a guy named Francesco Arizo, right? And so he's the current president. He's with the Rotary Club of Ragusa in Italy. Now, Rotary International takes its leadership and they grow them basically right out of the club. So Francisco, I'm not sure how long he's been in Rotary, probably 20, maybe even 30 years. Started out as just like a regular Rotarian like me and you, and rose up through the ranks to become RI president. And so next year, our president, when I'm district governor, will be Olayinka Hakim Babaloa. And so he's from Nigeria. Okay, and so he goes by Yinka, I'm told. But this kind of gives you an idea of how diverse and widespread Rotary is around the world. Okay, so this is Rotary District 5000. This was last year at our president-elect training, and some of you on this call are going to be presidents of your club at some point, and you'll get to go with us to that happy little gathering we have down there in LAX every year around February. And we've got about 50 clubs in our district. And so we take those 50 people, our president-elects, and some of our staff, and I think there's probably about 60 people in that picture. All right, so First Rotary Club, started in Honolulu in the First Rotary Club in Hawaii. Was chartered in 1915 with 29 members. So Rotary has been in Hawaii for over 100 years. So we have a huge history here. And then actually, I think that either the next one or the third was Rotary Club of Hilo, who opened in 1920.
It was, yeah, Hilo was the second club.
Yeah, second rank. Okay. Thanks, Rich. And
Well,
so,
it was sponsored by the Rotary Club of Honolulu, of course, because it was the only club to
yeah,
sponsor anybody at that
right.
time.
Right. And so that's great. I mean that Rotary was able to spread throughout the islands. Now we've got about 1,400 Rotarians. We've got about 50 clubs here. We got a couple of e-clubs, which are online clubs. We got two Rotaract clubs, and then 41 Interact clubs, and a couple of community core clubs, which are basically people that want to support Rotary. And they basically come out when we have service projects and that kind of thing. All right, so here's our leadership. So Nancy Cabral, who's our district governor right now, she's Rotary Club of Hilo. I'm the district governor-elect from Rotary Club of South Hilo. Rich is on, who's the district governor nominee from Rotary Club of Honolulu. And then in another month or so, or another couple of months, we will have a district governor nominee designate, which will be the next person in the leadership line. So at any given time, there's four of us, including the district governor nominee designate, and then our immediate past president, he's not pictured here, is Ted Fagel from Kauai. Okay, so what do Rotarians do? I mean, people are like, all right, so what's Rotary and what do you guys do? So, like I was saying, uh, Rotarians like to think of themselves as people of action, people who take action, they do things. One of the big things they do is they're problem solvers, right? So, no challenge is too big for Rotary. I mean, they decided in 1984 they were going to take on polio. Now, if you're of a certain age like me, you know the sort of devastation that polio caused, probably prior to 1980. And polio is all over the world. I mean, it's a debilitating disease, and when Rotary decided to take it on, they actually just about wiped it out from the face of the earth. And actually, I have Ross Cooper on, and when we're done, Ross, you could talk a little bit about polio. We actually have an active campaign every year to address polio. All right, so Rotary. Remember, I was showing those three parts of Rotary. There's the clubs, there's Rotary International, and there's Rotary Foundation. So in 1917, Arch Klump, he's one of the guys, the original guys, proposed an endowment for the purpose of doing good. So that one idea, he had the initial contribution of $26.50, set in motion a powerful force that's transformed millions of lives all over the globe. And so we'll get more into the foundation as we go along, but it is one of the best foundational organizations in the world, just in terms of how it's operated. Charity Navigator, which evaluates charitable foundations all over the world, has always given the Rotary Foundation 4 stars. So we'll talk a little bit more in detail about what the foundation does, but basically it moves around millions and millions of dollars around the globe to do Rotary projects, some of which, we're going to talk about in a little bit. And so here's 23-24 grant statistics. So on district grants, and, I was telling you we had 535 districts. Well, we put out 485 district grants, 30 million, global grants, 1,200 of those, 82 million, disaster response grants. We had 105 of those, including for our line of fires over here, put 4 million out for that. And then programs of scale, we'll talk about that, which are larger, more long-term grants, a couple of million for those. So we put a lot of money out there all over the world. So these are kind of the areas that Rotary focuses on. And in the U.S., you know, maybe some of these aren't that applicable to where you are, but globally, I mean, the programs that Rotary does are just really, really, really essential. So, promoting peace is one of them, and you know, on our island, Hawaii Island, man, we've got probably more peace bowls out here per capita than anywhere else, man, because we have got we have a really intense peace guys, and they're putting those polls out there. So promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water, sanitation, saving mothers and children, supporting education, and then growing local economies. And then just a couple of years ago, they added a seventh one, which is protecting the environment. So, you know, more than $18 million in foundation global funding has been allocated to environment-related projects over the last 5 years. So Rotary is really into environmental stuff, and we've done a bunch of those projects right here in Hawaii. All right, and so here's the service avenues that we have in Rotary, and this is what we try to channel our commitment into these 5 areas, and it's club services, which focuses on making our clubs really strong. Vocational service, which talks about the work that Rotarians do, and so we try to connect, you know, within Rotary, lots of different types of occupations through Rotary. Community service, and Nathan's on, and we're going to roll right into that at 10 o'clock. Youth service, there's a bunch of people on here that work in youth service, and then international service, which are these global grants some of you are interested in, and we'll get a chance to talk a little bit more about those when we're done with the slides. Okay, and then we also have Hawaii Rotary Youth Foundation. Okay, and that was started by Sully Sullivan. He's the guy that started Foodland over here. And so he was district governor in back in the 70s. And he wanted to really assist high school graduates who wanted to go on to college. Every participating club in our district awards a $5,000 scholarship to one to a graduating high school senior in their community. So last year we gave out $270,000 in scholarships to local kids in our district. All right, so what's in it for you? You can basically design your experience with Rotary. We're a membership organization, but you know, I've learned that Rotary focuses on membership, but also we're a leadership organization that is really connected by the relationships we have with each other. Now, if you're a person that wants to learn how to do leadership or want to have more opportunity to do leadership, there's lots of opportunities here in Rotary to do that. So we're a membership group in terms of just creating an opportunity for people to come in and be part of a group. One of the cool things about Rotary, I'll tell you, is the relationships that you create in Rotary. So I told the story a lot when I was a kid, and I asked my dad, you know, what am I going to be when I grow up? I was about 8 years old. And he told me, you're going to be whatever you're around the most. And so he said, if you're around bad guys, you'll be a bad guy. You're around good guys, you'll be a good guy. If you're around smart guys, you'll be a smart guy. And so what I learned in my decade with Rotary is that there's some really, really quality people in Rotary. And being around those guys, you know, all of them, it's just been really one of the greatest experiences for me in terms of Rotary. Rotary is an opportunity to learn a lot of skills. I mean, we have a learning center in Rotary. So those of you guys who just joined Rotary, if you go on, just go to rotary.org and then get yourself a My Rotary account. And basically you just sign up for an account. And once you do that, you have access to to a learning center. You can do these on your own. You know, Bev Hikus, it's on the call. I mean, she just went through and did like hundreds of them. I mean, if you went through all of the courses and took all of them, it'll be at least, my guess, probably equivalent to, you know, advanced college degree. And so all that opportunity is there. We're doing workshops and facilitating learning experiences like this. We're here just about every Saturday and through the week, learning about all kinds of things related to Rotary. So lots of professional development opportunities in Rotary. One of the things that Rotary really kind of stresses is you know, sustainable service. Like, how do we kind of keep this up? So designing a project. So if you have projects, and a lot of people get into Rotary because they have ideas about projects. They're at a point in their life where, hey, I'm sort of past where it's going to be all about me, and you know, I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to connect with Rotary and see how I can unite with other people. I can learn skills, networking, learn from other people that have some incredible expertise. Um, Lots of opportunity to like to volunteer. So, you know, Rotary's motto, service before self, and we know that there are definitely benefits to being involved in volunteering, physical health benefits, finding purpose. You know, uh, a lot of my, you know, people in my like my age group, they're retiring or are already retired from work. And the whole thing is that if you just stop working, you have to have a purpose of some kind. I mean, I always tell people when you retire, you got to retire to something. You just can't retire from something. So, I mean, although you can stop working, yeah, you can have Rotary as your purpose. And so as a result, we have a lot of people who you know, they retire from work and they need a new purpose and they find it in Rotary because there's so many options for them in terms of different kinds of things that you can do. So here's just a list of some other things that can happen. Rotary has fellowship groups, action groups, friendship exchanges, visit another club. Like, you can go anywhere in the world and just go on Rotary.org, and there's a local club there, and you can visit any club you want to show up and say, hey, I'm a Rotarian from Hawaii. And you know, they always want to meet. I mean, anywhere I go, I've traveled. And when you say I'm from District 5000 Hawaii, they're like, woohoo! Yeah, they want to know more about you. So there's international service projects, youth exchange programs, polio programs. We can there's peace. Then we can also you can also connect with Toastmasters. Um, you know, here's some of our Hawaii contingent at the Rotary convention, international convention in Calgary. All right, so I was telling you about the Rotary's Learning Center. This is it right here. I mean, you can click on these and there's, you know, dozens of courses that you can take, professional development, service leadership, um, you know, club leadership, about Rotary, everything you ever wanted to know about Rotary, it's in here. Okay, and then there's these Rotary fellowships, groups that are interested in pursuing all kinds of stuff, recreational activities, opportunities, sports, vocations, history, culture. Here's a list of the different kinds of things that are out there. They have, you know, wine fellowships, yachting. There's a surfing one, golfing Rotarians, flying Rotarians, business people, Rotary musicians. There's a gin fellowship, which our past Assistant Governor Ted was a part of. There's the beer Rotarians, and you know, you can see their four-way beer test. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for fellowship in Rotary. Okay, so Rotary basically consists of members who want to share a common recreation, sports, profession. And so, you know, participants, so you can be in a, you know, like let's say you like, I don't know, fishing. So there's Rotary Fishing Fellowship, and they get together once a month or so and just talk about fishing. And so now you have a chance to make Rotarian fishing friendships with people all over the planet. So there's a link down at the bottom, and you can look more about programs and fellowships. And this just gives you an idea, a list of all kinds of stuff, marathon running, whiskey, fitness, collectibles, empowering women, caravanning, comedy. I mean, you name it. And one of the things somebody always say, we need to have a Rotary Fellowship for Hawaiian culture. So, uh, there's something somebody can start. All right, so here's the link for Rotary Action Groups if you want to do that. And then Rotary Action Groups are, people obviously they have a mission to do something. They want to do clean water. We have action groups that want to do that. Rotary Action Groups to, uh, want to do something about hunger. So lots of opportunity to connect to those guys. They call them RAGs, Rotary Action Groups. There's 27 of them, 34,000 RAG members reported worldwide, 2,400 service projects, doing them in over 150 countries. And these are just some of the different Rotary Action Groups that are out there today. All right, so Rotary International Convention, I'm going to give Rich a chance to chat about this one as soon as we're done. This year, we had it in Calgary, which is really kind of cool. Haven't really been in that area of the world before. Before Calgary, there was Singapore. Before Singapore, there was Melbourne, Australia. Coming up next year in 2026, we're going to Taipei, Taiwan. Rich is going to be leading the charge. After that, it's Dubai. After that, it's Minneapolis. I have a Rotarian in my club that kind of joined just about a year ago. And he said, my wife and I have always kind of wanted to travel, and we never really kind of got around to it because we're busy, but we like traveling with other Rotarians. So they go to the international conference every year as sort of their travel. So it's kind of a cool thing. Yeah. We usually have, I don't know, quite a bit of Rotarians who do that. Here's our district website, rotaryd5000.org. And the international website is rotary.org. And service above self is, basically our model. So I'll stop sharing there, and I'm going to ask some of our other Rotarians to click in and chat a little bit about some of the stuff they're working on. So Roz, if you could you chat a little bit about polio? We saw polio there, and Roz leads our polio group.
You're frozen, Roz.
Done. I'll get back to you.
Okay, all right. So, Rich, why don't we jump to you? You can talk a little bit about Taipei.
Well, everyone on this call should have received an email from me a couple of days ago, which gave a link to a presentation we're going to be doing on the 11th, a week from Thursday, or actually this Thursday, I'm sorry, this Thursday at 6:30, where we're going to get into the details on what's going to happen in Taipei. For those on this call, just to let you know, this is going to happen in June 13th, June 13th to the 17th. In next year in Taipei. The district has blocked off a number of rooms at the Fallen Taipei East Hotel. There'll be information that I'll be presenting regarding transportation, activities, things that you'll be interested in participating in, the benefits of going to a convention, and Benson has already outlined many of those, but it's an eye-opener because to see all the people from all the different countries and go to the House of Friendship and see all the good that's being done in the world by people around the world is very inspiring. So I'm going to recommend everyone, sign on the call this week, Thursday, and you'll get more information if you're interested, and look forward to seeing you there.
Great, Rich. Thanks a lot. A couple of years ago, we went to Singapore, and Nathan was on that trip with us. Man, we had almost 100 people make that trip from Hawaii. So, Calgary, we probably had, I don't know, 50 or 60. It's not as exotic, but I think Taiwan, man, we're going to be right up in there.
Yeah,
Maybe
we're at 59 now, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that number it could double, but we'll see because we're still early in the game. We do
Yeah.
have some deadlines that we need to meet for room reservation, and that'll be mid-October, and so there is some pressure to get things online between now and then.
Okay. Thanks, Rich. Really appreciate that. Roz, how we doing?
Doing okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you look sounding
Okay.
good, girl. Go for it.
When you say polio, I just come out of everything, It just
Yeah,
works
yeah,
that way.
yeah.
Thanks, Rich, but you need to tell us about the hotel rooms, okay? Next time.
Yeah.
We have World Polio Day on the 24th of October, which is coming up pretty soon. And I'm going to be getting some information out to all the clubs about possible projects that we can have to create awareness and to raise funds to support our polio efforts. I know we have some new members on the call, and I hope you've heard a little bit about polio as far as what it is. And I hope you're looking at becoming a member of our Polio Plus Society and helping with the eradication processes that's going on all over the world. And when I say all over the world, we know we don't have polio here, but in order to keep it that way, we still have to inoculate our children at home as well. So we have more coming to you starting now and going straight through about what polio is, how you can help, and what you're going to be doing through your clubs and through your individual efforts. So questions, I'm available anytime.
Okay, thank you so much there, Roz. Anybody have any questions? You can raise your little rotary, your digital hand if you want to. It's down there under React. If you hit React, and it'll say raise your hand. You can if you have a question. If not, I wanted to have our a dean of our district leadership academy, Bev, say a few words about that. Bev has had a really great experience kind of coming up through the clubs as club president, and just really, jumped into leadership in our district, was assistant governor in our area, and then now the dean of the District Leadership Academy. So, want to chat a little bit about that, Bev?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Benson. I'm very excited about our Leadership Academy, and I joined it probably about 3 years ago, and it was a great experience. I got to connect with other people who have the desire to take their leadership to the higher level. So I think it's an amazing program that Rotary offer, and I encourage everyone who might have been a past president recently or even before to join our next session. This one has already gotten started, and we can still maybe take 1 or 2 people, but we're excited with the group and we're started already. But if there's anyone who's interested, you can still sign up and we will take you in on this program. We have a lot of new faces in our clubs, and we're excited in our academy, and we're excited about those people. It is something that will help you not just in Rotary, but it help you in your professional, your business. You can take what you learn and be a better leader at the company or the organization that you're in. It is led by very experienced Rotarians, Benson Medina being one of them. And our newest team member is Rick Proctor. He's also supporting this endeavor. We have Naomi Mizuno and also Lorraine Davis. And these are people that are passionate about making sure that Rotary have leadership in the future. So we're working really hard. We're excited about it. It consists of 8 monthly trainings. Once a month, 8 trainings. We have speakers from Rotary International that come in and share with us. We also have leaders within our district that come and share with us. And then we have a a collaborative project that they get to do, and Rich is going to oversee that this year. So it's an amazing opportunity. If you haven't taken that on, and you're past president here on the call, please consider it in the future. It'll be something that you'll be so grateful that you participated in. So I'm really excited about it. And I thank you, Vincent, for giving me an opportunity to share about this program that has been building for a long time. And I'm privileged to just play a small part in making this successful and helping other leaders to, like I say, move on, have that succession, take on the responsibility of Rotary and keep it going in our district. So thank you.
Well, thanks, Bev. You know, these guys are all kind of pretty modest. I mean, we do a lot in our districts. You know, the average district does about 4 trainings a year. We do 80. I mean, how about that for like overachievers? So yeah, there's a lot of activity going on here, and you know, Zoom worked out pretty good for us because we're spread out all over these islands, so it's been really great. You know, hey, Brian Dunkel, if you're not gonna crash your car and could unmute and talk for a little bit
Sure.
about RILA, because Brian's been instrumental in that you know, that organization the last few years, and just wanted you to give us a couple minutes or so on what your thoughts are, maybe explain kind of what RILA does.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'm actually I'm just starting out, so I'm not on the, dangerous highways or anything like that. So yeah, so I've actually been involved with RILA now going on 5 years, I guess. I was 2 years during the pandemic, key part of the technology team that did a virtual RILA, which turned out quite well, I think. In the last 2 years and going into this year on Oahu, having actually the virtual RILA during the pandemic, to your point earlier, Benson, about Zoom, gave us a really amazing opportunity to develop a sort of across the islands RILA team. So there's a group of folks on the Big Island, there's a group of folks in Maui, there's a couple of folks on Kauai, and of course the folks here in Oahu, who've kind of done a couple of RILAs collectively, which then, as we're doing individual island RILAs, we still, coordinate with each other. So we have a common website, rilahawaii.org, that, each of the islands can put their information on. So we have a single place to go. RILA itself, the Rotary Youth Leadership Academy, Leadership Awards, which is actually developed into a camp, and gives opportunities for area high school kids to come to a camp or some other kind of place that people gather. We on the Oahu, we do it at Camp Erdman these days, and we have speakers come in, we have Rotarians come in, interact with the high school students, teach them leadership skills, teach them about Rotary and all the wonderful things that we do. This year, it's usually in the beginning of the year everywhere except Kauai. Kauai does a slightly different schedule. So on Oahu, we're at the end of January, beginning of February in 2026. The Big Island and Maui, I think, are a couple of weeks later. I actually have to update the RILA Hawaii website. That's one of the things in my kuleana these days. And we have, between, I know Maui had a struggle last year getting kids, so they had a fairly small program. I think there was only 4 or 6 kids, but they still did it. It was still great. We've had 50 kids on Oahu, and so we broke them up into 5 groups of 10. Each ohana then, did a project to design their seal and put it on a flag and work together to solve problems and learn about the 4-way test and that kind of stuff. So it's really been an amazing opportunity for me, I think, as a leader who kind of came up through similar kinds of programs when I was a kid myself. It wasn't through Rotary, but it was a different organization. But just the idea of having these leadership opportunities to interact with people who are successful, like the Rotarians in our clubs, and other kids who are trying to be, the next leaders. It's just an amazing opportunity. So every club should look at supporting as many kids sponsored into RILA as they can, because that's our operating model, is that the clubs, pick the kids in a perfect world and then support them financially to come to the club or to the camp, so that it's free to the kids, but we can still do cool things because we have the money to support it. So if anybody is interested in joining, reach out to me or Jen Tanoe, who's the youth services chair, can hook us up if you're interested in helping with the RILA camp on any of the islands. There you go.
Okay, Brian, thanks, man. None of these presentations that you just saw in the last 5 minutes or the last 10 minutes, they knew they were going to talk today. So it's totally like, hey, Rich, tell us what's going on, And so that just gives you an idea of how well prepared and knowledgeable the people in Rotary are, how compassionate they are about the stuff that they do, and believe me, we can give the floor to somebody and they'll just go on and on like me. So I'm going to now turn it over to my good friend Nathan Graves. It's just about 10 o'clock, and we're going to transition now into community service. So if you guys still have some time, would recommend, especially if you're new to Rotary, to hang around and see and experience a little bit about what we're doing to serve our community out there. And I thank you guys for coming. I mean, it's kind of a cool thing that new Rotarians, people that have been just inducted into clubs in the last few days are here to learn more about Rotary. That's really great and encouraging. So if you guys have any questions, you can go on the district website, which is d5000.org. Find out everything you wanted to know. A recording of this program will be listed there under website recordings, and you'll be able to see it again. So with that, I appreciate your time today. I'm going to stop talking and turn it over to my buddy Nathan Graves. Go for it, Nathan.
Thank you, Benson. Yeah, well, everyone's welcome to stay on. All Rotarians are encouraged to join this upcoming meeting, but I know for those of you who have been on the call for an hour, why don't you take a few minutes and you can go to the bathroom, and then we will reconvene in just a couple of minutes here.
Okay, great idea. I'm going to stop the recording, and then we'll start again when you start up again. Here, so recording again.